Hi there, and welcome. There are pretty high chances you may have heard about this .props.children before. In its essence, the props.children is used when you have a React component, like this gallery, and you want to use inside it the HTML content that the React component declaration receives. For now, we have an empty image gallery. So if I want to add some content here, let's say this simple paragraph tag, and this paragraph to be rendered in our gallery component, I can go and write inside curly braces this.prop.children, and done. We have it working. And of course, we'll replace this text with a cat picture, and voila, we have our first cat into the gallery. But React also knows how to display multiple child elements, not just one. So nobody can stop us from adding one more picture, because you can never have enough pictures, and if we refresh, we have a new picture on board. If you take a look into the React.js docs, you'll see that there is actually this children object that gives us access to a set of methods. It may be a good idea to later check all of these methods from here. For example, if you want to show how many child elements a React component has, you can use the count method. In order not to have to write all the time React.children, I will add the children object as a separate import. And now I will create a new paragraph with some content, and here use children.count and pass it what do we want to count. And after the refresh, we can see now that we have on the screen also the number of the children. Or if we want to force our gallery component just to receive one child, we can use children.only and so on. But maybe the most useful children method is the map. Using it, we can pass through all of the children and map them to a returning element. So in our case, we could say something like children.map plus this anonymous function. It will take one child at a time and return what it should be displayed. For now, the output is exactly the same, but the cool stuff is that now we can control these elements. For example, if we want our library to allow only images as children, we can say here if element.type not equals image, then throw a new error. And for now, everything is the same as before. But if I add in the gallery, let's say h1, well, we will get this error. We'll have to delete this for now just to have our code working again. And another thing that we can use map for is to manipulate these child elements, not just to restrict them. For example, if an image does not have a title attribute, we would like to add a default one. This element parameter is of type React component. So we can say here something like if there is not a element.props.title, then element.props.title equals just a cat. So we'll get this error now. Well, you may recall that the properties of a React component are read-only. Fortunately, we can work around this by using the clone element. We will assign this element to a clone of itself. But in a React clone element, we can also pass in a second parameter to set up new properties. In our case, I will set the title to be just a cat. And we should be good to go now. When I will save, we will see that when we inspect this element, we will also get this default title attribute. I hope you have enjoyed this short React tutorial. If you have questions, feel free to ask them in the comments below. I'm Daniel and see you the next time. Cheers!